As you take a look at this Giants ball club, now losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting BUCS, things haven't gone exactly according to plan. Now a play fake here on first down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. The Giants and BUCS, these two teams, they met in Week 4 last year in Tampa Bay, and it was Nick Folk with a game-winning field goal 25-23, and at the time, that sent New York to 0-4.
And how about the last two to get them to 0-4? Lost on a 61-yard field goal at the buzzer by Philadelphia kicker Jake Elliott, and then they lose this one to Nick Folk in Tampa.
Yeah, and then, of course, everyone knew the rest of the story, a season that Giant fans would like to forget. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Connor Barwin able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Saquon Barkley deep to return. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be commanded by the veteran QB, the former Walter Payton Man of the Year in the league, Eli Manning.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Now Stewart. Room to run inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go back to Stewart on 1st. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The numbers in last week's game for Stewart: 16 carries, 65 yards.
And I know that last week's game is over, but this feels almost like a continuation of what he did in the previous game. It's almost as if in his mind, he knitted together the 2 weeks with no break. He's off to a nice start here. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now the first running back drafted this year, it's Saquon Barkley. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
A key cog in this passing attack is evident.
from the gun on third down. Madden, a bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
Aldrick Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And Rosas puts this one through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Now a second down throw for Winston. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play calling, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Here's Brian Anger now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And a quick look at the Buccaneer defensive starters.
And linebacker Levante David uses his speed and his smarts to overwhelm opposing offenses. Forced 5 fumbles in 2017. That's a carryover from what we saw him do at the University of Nebraska. He's a guy you got to count for on every snap.
Back to the air on second down. It's Madden. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They go play action here on first down. And brought in by Jarrell Adams. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On second down, they run with Stewart. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Manning looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He finds Beckham complete. First catch there for OBJ, and that good for a first down. So Manning to Beckham in this defense, they better hone in on that connection.
It's almost like an electrical charge for him, isn't it? When he catches the first one and talk about OBJ, he just goes to the huddle and says more, more, more. And really, he's just one of those guys that once he gets going, look out.
Now Stewart on first down. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Manning now on first down. And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll run it with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. From the gun, Winston. And his throw is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working out of the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kendall Beckwith coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Stewart on the counter, and that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Working from the gun, Manning. Caught right side, it's Lewis. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's fourth down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep for the BUCS, Deshaun Jackson. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Airing this one out for Evans. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
On second down, it's Jones. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Third and long for Winston. This is caught by Jackson. And they're going to get this one all the way up to the 35-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game. And he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the BUCS in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. A give to Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I thought going into the 2018 draft, running back was a priority for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they got one of the best ones in the draft, and Ronald Jones II out of USC. He's a guy who knows how to make people miss, but also not afraid to lower his shoulder and make his own way.
And that's what we saw there as he powered his way forward for the first. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10, down at the 31. Jameis to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. The give is to Jones. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. On is Chandler Catanzaro now for the Buccaneer field goal. The wind is at his back here in the 2nd quarter. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Yeah, they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. Now a handoff. This is Stewart. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From midfield, here's Manning. And complete to Lewis over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they show to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Manning. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Madden. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Noah Spence in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Giants, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home.